Hello students. In our previous video, we learned that acids and bases dissolve in water and give hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion respectively. Students, can we quantitatively find the amount of these ions present in a solution? Or can we judge how strong a given acid or base is? Yes, we can determine the concentration of hydrogen ion or hydroxide quantitatively. We know that the concentration of ions in water decides the strength of any acid or base. This strength is called pH. The P in pH stands for potence in German, meaning power in English. There is another way of defining the symbol pH. In the term pH, P is the mathematical symbol for negative logarithm and H is the chemical symbol for hydrogen. So we can say that the pH is defined as the negative logarithm of the hydrogen ion concentration, that is pH is equal to minus log H+. Here the square brackets designate the concentration of H+ ions. You will learn about logarithm in your higher classes. However, this logarithmic relation means that the concentration and the pH value are inversely proportional, and for decrease in pH by 1 unit cause 10 times increase in concentration of ions. So students, we can say that pH is a measure which describes the strength of acid and base solution. pH scale was developed by Sorensen in 1909. The pH value is measured on a scale of 0 to 14. Student, let's learn more about this scale. The middle of this range, that is pH equal to 7, is considered neutral. Any solution having pH value greater than 7 means that it is a basic solution, and any solution having pH value lower than 7 means that it is an acidic solution. So we can say that higher the number on scale, the stronger the base. The lower the number on scale, the stronger the acid. For example, which one of the acid is stronger? An acid with pH 6 or an acid with pH 3? Yes, you are right. An acid with pH 3. Because lower the pH, stronger the acid. This is reverse for bases. That is, more the pH, stronger the base. For example, a base with pH 12 is more strong than base with pH 9. Students, the pH value of a substance is inversely related to the ratio of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion concentrations. By inverse relation, we mean that if the ratio of H+ and OH- ions decreases, the pH value increases. If in a solution, the concentration of H+ ions are greater than OH- ions, the solution is acidic. That is, the pH value is less than 7. If in a solution, the concentration of OH- ions are greater than the concentration of H+ ions, then the solution is basic, with a pH value greater than 7. If equal numbers of H+ and OH- ions are present in a solution, then this solution is neutral, with a pH of 7. As we already know that acids and bases have free H+ ion and OH- ions respectively. And since the relationship between H+ and OH- ions in a given solution is constant in a given conditions, we can use the concentration of any one of the two to know the strength of acid or base. Students, we know that the pH is a measurement of hydrogen ions, while pOH is a measurement of hydroxide ions in the solution, and the sum total of pH and pOH of a given solution remains constant, that is, pH plus pOH is equal to 14. Students, please note that pH should be thought of simply as a number which indicates the acidic or basic nature of a solution. Now let's learn how we measure the pH of a solution. Students, we can measure pH by two methods: colorimetric and potentiometric. The colorimetric method, we use pH paper or pH solution to know the pH of a solution. This method gives a rough indication of pH. In this method, the pH paper or pH solution changes its color when the pH level of a solution varies. The indicators used in colorimetric method show different colors at different concentrations of hydrogen ions in a solution. But students, what happens when we have to check the pH of a colored or murky solutions? In the case of colored or murky solutions, the accuracy of this method is limited. In these conditions, we need a more accurate method to calculate the pH. More accurate pH measurements are obtained using a pH meter. This method of using pH meter is called as potentiometric method. This method can estimate pH to the accuracy of 0.1 pH unit. Students, we know that pH of acids and bases depends on the number of H+ ions and OH- ions produced respectively. So, if we take hydrochloric acid and acetic acid of the same concentration, then they produce different amounts of hydrogen ions, and hence their pH are different. Acids that give rise to more H+ ions are said to be strong acids, and acids that give less H+ ions are said to be weak acids. Similarly, bases that give rise to more OH- ions are said to be strong bases, and bases that give less OH- ions are said to be weak bases. So students, let's summarize what we have learned so far in this video. We learned that pH is a scale that is used to find if a solution is acidic, basic or neutral. The pH scale works on the measurement of hydrogen ions. We also learned that the pH scale has a range of 0 to 14. If a solution has a pH value less than 7, then it is acidic. If it is more than 7, it is basic. And if the pH value is 7, then the solution is neutral. In our next video, we will learn about the importance of pH in our everyday life.